Hello, everybody. This is Scott in a Shot. Let me get some more light in here. Good morning. This is Scott in a Shot. How you guys doing this morning? Today I want to talk about the Democratic Party of Corruption. They are the party of corruption. Let's just go on down the line here of corruption. Let's go on down the line of corruption here. They're counting illegal votes in Pennsylvania, people. They're counting illegal votes. I mean, the lady said it right on TV. I mean, wow. I mean, everything's coming out now. You know what I'm saying? So we got the voting for the congressional seat over in Pennsylvania. They're voting illegal aliens. We got Hunter Biden's laptop. These aren't just lies, people. When they talk to us about when we're seeing all them lie when they're lying on TV all the time, these aren't just lies. When they're lying to us, that is corruption. That is corruption at the core. I mean, the 51 intel agents that signed off on the Hunter Biden laptop as being Russian disinformation ought to be fired and sent to jail for a little bit of time because that was corruption. That's a lie. I mean, they were lying to get a result from the 2020 election, to get a result that they wanted, and they got it. Along with Facebook and Twitter, stifling free speech. I mean, that's corruption. That is corruption, people. That is what we're talking about. We're talking about corruption here in the Democratic Party. A party of everything they do, everything they touch is corrupt. I believe that. I think everything that they've done in government is corrupt. I think every department in our government has been made a corrupt organization against the Republican Party. I mean, so so everybody on the Hunter laptop, all those 51 intel agents ought to be nailed to the cross. I mean, and once again, we'll talk about the Russia hoax. Hillary Clinton should be in prison. Hillary Clinton should be in prison. I mean, and probably Bill Clinton too. He's her husband. He's behind. He's right there telling her what he's okay, rubber stamping everything she's doing. So I mean, they're a married couple. And we're talking corruption with a lot of government agencies involved in all of it. I mean, we got the shell company. What about the shell companies that have no purpose except for hiding money? Are we ever going to get to the bottom of that? I mean, just because Donald Trump became president, I don't think he should be a nice guy. I think Joe Biden ought to be nailed. I don't care how old he is and how senile he is. He wasn't so senile to have his son set up those companies. You know what I'm saying? I mean, in Ukraine, the problem I have with Ukraine is that we're giving them all this money, but they're the ones they were the architects with Hillary Clinton. I think on the Russia collusion hoax. I mean, Biden's caught on camera saying that to fire that prosecutor that's investigating him and his son, or they won't get money that was already allotted to them by our government. That's corrupt. I mean, everything they do is corrupt, people. I mean, literally everything they put their fingers on is corrupt. FEMA right now, not going to houses that have any kind of signs in the yard that are Trump supporting. Anything that says that they're Republican supporters, they walked around their house. It doesn't matter how damaged they were. If they were hurt, they needed help. They purposely did it. They got it. They got caught red-handed. You got all these whistleblowers coming out on all this stuff. I mean, you got all these whistleblowers coming out, all because they're getting fired. Why? But they were all fine with it at first. They were all fine with this corruption that they were told to do, and they did it anyway. They knew it was corrupt. These people that work for the party, they know what they're doing is corrupt. They're given marching orders and they do it. A person that's not corrupt would say, "Well, I'm not going to do that," and you just move on to a different job. You know what I'm saying? I mean, when does somebody have enough class, enough pride in their own selves? I mean, to walk away from a corrupt, when you're in government working for the people, to just leave, just quit your job. I mean, when does somebody, the Democrats, even the ones that aren't high up that are in the government, just the pencil pushers, they are all corrupt. They hired him to be corrupt. They are corrupt. So right now, if I was Donald Trump, I'd go in office. I'd fire anybody they can fire that's leans Democrat, fire him. I mean, you can't come out after the fact, after they got caught, and say, "Oh, but it wasn't me, it was policy." Well, everybody, I know if I go to a job and steal, that I just broke policy. I mean, even my boss told me to do it. The difference between right and wrong. You know what I'm saying? So I mean, this is my shot today, just my vape. So all this corruption is going on, and then it's like hiding Joe Biden in the basement because he was senile. All the way up until the time of that debate, they were saying he was all there. He's the hardest working man, first to get up, let's go to bed. I mean, how do you fix a system that is that broken? It's not that broken, it's that corrupt. You know what I'm saying? It's not broken at all. It's corrupt. It's corrupt. How do you fix it? Well, there's only one way to fix it, people. You got to just get rid of everybody. You get rid of every senator that's on the Democratic Party hired or put into into positions of power, and even the pencil pushers, because all these people are Democrats. I'm not guarantee they fired almost if you didn't say you were leaning Democrat when he came into office, Biden, they probably tried to get rid of you or did get rid of you. I guarantee you that. So how long are we going to put up with the corruption for, people? Because if Donald Trump doesn't get rid of all these people, the corruption remains. The corruption remains. That's why they're still resisting. Having governors go on TV saying they're not going to listen to ICE when they go in there. They're not going to tell ICE anything about the illegals that are in their city when they get there. It is against the law to be in this country. What supersedes what? Is it illegal to be here illegally or not? That's a federal crime. So how can a state have a sanctuary city when it is illegal to be here as an illegal alien? I mean, I thought that's what the law was. You don't have to like the law. It's on the books. But I thought that was the law. It's illegal to be here if you're not a citizen, if you sneak over our border. I mean, the immigration thing's the worst break of the law I've ever seen. They're not obeying the laws. That's corrupt. That is called corrupt, people. Why aren't they obeying the laws? It's for a political reason to get people in here to vote for them. That's corrupt. I mean, everything that comes out of their mouth is a lie. Is it corrupt? It's like Mika and Joe Scarborough on TV going to Mar-a-Lago. I mean, those two pieces of shit. They are two pieces of shit. I can't even believe they're a married couple. I mean, give me a break. They're a joke. They are a fucking joke. I mean, these news organizations, they need to be held accountable for lying, and they're the ones spreading disinformation. Everything that they're getting caught on right now, the mainstream media was in part of covering it up. Everyone except for Fox News. When it comes to the mainstream media, ABC, CBS, NBC, MSNBC, CNN, they're all corrupt, and they all need to have their license taken from them. They propagated all these crimes that the government party, that the Democrats have been committing while they've been in office. These are crimes, people. Corruption is a crime, and nobody's getting, except for one lady on FEMA getting fired. Where's all the other firings? Where are they at? Where are they at? The Democrats are going to fire. Obviously, they're not going to fire themselves. They don't fire nobody. I can't even believe she got fired. Well, now she's speaking up, but that lady's a piece of shit too, because she did what she was told to do, even though she knew it was wrong. You can't come out after you knew you did something that was wrong and say, well, it's not my fault. Well, you're part of the problem. They're part of the problem. That's the problem. They're part of the problem. The people that work for the Democrats that are in the government agencies, from the secretaries, they're all part of the problem. How do you think these leaks always happen? Because it's accepted in that culture. It's accepted in that culture to leak vital information, top secret information out to the public like they do. And they run with it. The Democratic news organizations, they run with it. They run with it every chance they get. So they need to be exiled. Boom, done. You're fired. Fired. You're shut down. They need to be shut down. And some of these rich people need to make some new news organizations. I mean, that are honest and truthful, and they're not pandering to a party for whatever reasons they do it for, because they're all freaks. I mean, they're all, like I said, the Democratic Party's full of perverts, freaks, and liars and corruption. That's what they're about. That's all I see. I mean, everything that they've touched since they've been in office is corrupt. I bet every law they passed, I mean, everything was done corruptly. I mean, where they're just not being called out, or they just weren't caught yet. But everything about them is corruption, people. That's why enough Americans finally got tired of it. And thank God for the Democrats that stepped over the line. Thank you. Thank you to the independents that stepped over the line and voted Republican, because that's the only party that's real right now. The Democratic Party is not even a real party. It's a party of corruption and filth, as far as I'm concerned. When you go behind kids' backs and talk to them without their parents being there about sex and stuff, that's just I say it all the time in my show. That is so wrong. I don't know how anybody and everybody doesn't see it. I mean, everybody. And who would vote for a party that sees that going on? I mean, who does that? I mean, so the people have to be held accountable too. I mean, that are working for these agencies. I mean, the people that work there. I mean, because they're part of the problem too. They get their martial orders to go break the law, and they go do it. I wouldn't do it. If somebody told me to go break that law right there, I'd be like, you go do it. I'm not doing it. I mean, they're still working from home. I mean, there's such. I mean, that's what's going on. They're taking such advantage of our system that these employees that they don't even want to come back to work after COVID. They're still crying COVID and the mask mandate. These masks need to be. Our government needs to outlaw masks from now on in this country. The pandemic's over. People still walking into banks with the mask on, still walking everywhere. I see people still in California driving in their car with their windows up with the fucking mask on. That's a joke. But the reason why I'm saying it's a joke is because people are going in and doing these snatch and grabs, and people. I mean, they're all wearing masks. I mean, no. I mean, they made a culture. The Democratic Party's made it cool in our culture to where it's cool to wear a mask over your face. That in itself is suspect. You know what I'm saying? That's suspect. I mean, people just go where they want with full face masks on their face, commit a crime, and you can't see their face. I mean, the masks need to be outlawed. And all you little wussies need to realize that COVID's over. It was a bad fucking flu, if you want my opinion. I mean, I caught COVID. I mean, yeah, it sucked, but I've had flus that were just as bad. That's just a fact. I mean, so yeah, that's how I feel about it. I mean, the Democratic Party, man. I hope they never get voted back into higher office again when it comes to the presidency of the United States, because you saw what they just done to our country. 4 more years of that, we would have been done. We would have been done. I mean, nobody's respecting us. When they sit there and say the rest of the world doesn't respect Donald Trump, no, they respect Donald Trump. They don't respect Joe Biden. I mean, except for, like I said, a couple fairy countries like Canada and France. Maybe Amsterdam now because all those little faggots over there. I mean, not to disturb. I don't want to disparage the homo community, but that's how I feel about it. I mean, they're just all a bunch of little fairies. I mean, I'm a guy. I never liked fairies. You know what I'm saying? I'm a toxic male, proud of it. My wife likes it. I mean, it's like eugenics. My wife likes it too. You know what I'm saying? I'm just kidding. Anyway, I hope everybody realizes this is Scott in the Shot, and I think the Democratic Party is full of a bunch of weasel worms and losers and liars and corrupt people. Even the voters, man. I'm tired of holding back now. The resist. Well, I'm going to resist too, because they're going to keep coming for us. They're going to keep coming for our country. They're going to keep coming for our kids. They're going to keep trying to bring illegals in here. I mean, who knows if Joe Biden's going to try to get over that fucking finish line on his last day of office. I mean, he's such a loser. And I don't care that he's old. He's a piece of shit. Joe Biden is a steamy pile of shit. That's what Joe Biden. Kamala Harris, he's the fly on that shit. I mean, so that's how I feel about that. And every other Democratic, all these Democrats are coming out now and saying stuff. I mean, well, they weren't saying it before before Kamala Harris lost. Not one of them. Not one of them. I mean, so that's what I got to say about it. This is Scott in the Shot. Let's stop with the weirdness. Let's stop with the craziness. Let's get back to business at hand. And you Democrats, you're the party of corruption. That's from Scott the Shot, Scott the Great. You guys suck.